Saturday. Welcome to day 19. We skipped a day yesterday. Apologize, but we're here. 19, that means you get me till Monday. Cool. I'm excited. Oh, let me just finalize my little... All right. Yes, this is cool. So, and you have to go with the flow, right? Sometimes life happens. So you adjust, you pivot, you focus. 3 words. Did I tell you my 3 words for this year? Focus, discipline, consistency. And so, yes, this 21-day challenge is just as much for me as I hope it's for you. So for those of you who have been tuning in practically every day, I am so grateful for being on this journey with you. And if it's your first time catching it, listen, the replays, yes, they're in the community, but I'm definitely going to leave them on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So go right ahead and catch up. And the beauty about this is you can do this whenever, right? And so it doesn't have to be a one-time thing. And actually it shouldn't, because our risen self is constantly getting closer and closer to being that ideal, maybe not ideal, I would say the full potential of who we were made to be. And so every next version is better than the last, right? And so today we are talking about this risen self. And maybe it's that next risen self or that ultimate vision that you have of who you are. And yes, this is about you. It's not about something that you want to achieve in a sense of a goal or an environment that's external to you. It really is about you, your person, your risen self. Okay? And so this is the last section of the book, Your Vision. So we did environment, temperature, foundation, and then we went into self-image, and then self-care, and then mental health. And now we are talking vision. Vision of you. What is that vision of you that you cherish? And sometimes others can see it before you can. And that's also okay. We're in a journey, we're in a process, and we have to embrace it all. Embrace the full process, right? Okay, so I'm gonna read before I run out of time. Okay, so your vision. Vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others. This is from Jonathan Swift. Connecting to your risen self. Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams? Who looks inside awakens. Love that. This is from Carl Jung. So, this is a very famous psychologist, as we all know. Well, some of us know. All right. The vision that you glorify in your mind, the ideal that you enthrone in your heart, this you will build your life by, and this you will become. That is from James Lane Allen. Today, I would like to give you a little challenge. Okay. Challenge. We start with a challenge today. I would like you to take some time to describe the vision of your next best version of who you are. Grab a pen and paper and write about your risen self. It could be a prose, a poem, a narrative, a rap, a song, etc. Use your imagination and creativity as you allow it to arise from a moment of stillness. I hope you've been taking time, set time aside to be still. That's my hope and prayer. Just have a picture of what that looks like for you. Having a picture of your risen self is really important indeed. When I say dare to rise, who comes up? What is the picture of this being that is risen from this moment in time? Again, we can have multiple versions of our risen self. So from this particular moment of stillness, you will get a picture, something that you can write about or speak about. You can always do a voice note if that's better for you. What is the picture of this being that is risen from this moment in time? I guess I had to read that again. What is the image of you rising from within look like? Once you've written it or spoken it, I invite you to record it. Definitely. So if you're doing a voice note, a video, or you're writing it down, you want to actually make it, like if you're writing it down, you want to make it audio or video. Okay? So this is just a suggestion. You can keep it written, but yeah. You can either record it in video or audio format, and then I want you to listen to it. I want you to put it on repeat. Or, like I said, if you want to write it and read it multiple times, that's fine too. But definitely the audio and the visual version would be better. As you listen to it and truly connect with that vision, it will sustain your decision to rise. If you're more of a writer, like I said, you can always type it up, print it out, and put it on your mirror or anywhere you will see it often. But I firmly believe that having it in video or audio format is powerful to ingrain this part of the process. Enjoy the process. Yes, yes, yes. So important, because as we've been talking about in the last few days, that aspect of our thought life can definitely be so negative and so just engrossed in darkness that we can miss the opportunity that this moment is giving us to rise. Like I said, sometimes turbulence is a sign that you need to get to that next level, and trials, hardship, tribulations, they're always an opportunity for that next best version of yourself to rise. Always. There's always something to learn, a lesson to adopt, and the reality is, if we don't take time, if we're not still enough to ask the right questions and to get at the root of things, we will see this happening again and again and again. Yeah. Life has a way of bringing back tests so that we can get it. Right? It's kind of like when we're in school. Sometimes when I work with people, I talk to them about, like when we're in school, we have tests that we need to go through in order to get to that next level in our school journey, right? So if you're if you're in grade 1, then there's a test you have to do to get to grade 2. And it's very similar when it comes to the rising journey. So whenever you come to a place where things seem to not work and there's so much trying happening, you feel like you're at your wit's end, at the end of yourself, this is a good sign. I know it doesn't feel good, but it is a good sign. It means that that next best version is ready to arise. So now, what are you going to do about it? That is the key thing. What are you going to do? And so, one of the things that help keep us on track is doing this exercise or this challenge of tapping into that risen self that is arising. And so some people who've done this exercise, I mean, they ended up like being so moved to tears even. And so what happens is that there's it's like a moment. I like to talk about, because time is just timing. Time is fulfilling. Time is fulfilling. We're already March 1st. I mean, what? Okay. Next thing you know, it's going to be June. And so every day counts, and every moment that we can have to really tap into what's happening with us internally and do something about it is so precious. And so don't pile your life with so much things that you don't have time to do this kind of stuff, okay? You want to make sure that you learn to say no. We talked about self-advocacy, and let go of the guilt, that somebody could come trying to impose their urgency on you. Let go of the guilt, because things will work out for them, I promise. And so, but you can't really do that if you're not in tune with what you really need, where you're at in your rising journey, and what is appropriate, what appropriate grounds are needed internally, first of all, but then also externally, because sometimes, you need to decide when in the timing of things, when you're going to do it, where you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, all of that. And so it takes a bit of planning, but at the end of the day, you don't want to get to a place where you're so burnt out or worn out that the only way that you get this stillness is on a hospital bed. You do not want that. Be proactive, as we've been talking about. Be proactive and just carve it in. Carve it in. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be every day. Okay? So ideally, once a week, but if you can't even do that, at least once a month. I mean, it's going to count. It's a compound effect of it. Okay? So if you can't do 652 times, you just do 12. And you will see that you're going to be going towards that next best version of you. Guaranteed. Okay, so it's not about quantity here. It's about quality. Okay? So, let me give you your challenge before I run out of time. So of course, there's the challenge of writing it down or doing a voice note or video of that risen self that arises from a moment of stillness. And this is not about what you wish to be in your minds. You can conjure up things in your mind, right? Based on what you see, which is plagiarism. We do not want that. No, we want it coming from your heart place. And of course, if the heart is sick, that's kind of difficult. And that is why the stillness is important. and you're able to remove, what really is cluttering it, and the stillness is the best way to do that. Okay, so you do get 2 challenges today. Okay, so first of all, the first challenge is really about writing down what comes up, right? And so it could be a poem, like I said, a prose, or whatever, or however that comes up is however it comes up, which is fine. Okay, but then you're gonna use your mind, because sometimes that is hard, right? Because there's so much cutting it, which is okay, you'll get there. But one thing you're gonna do as well as a challenge is you're gonna describe it. You're gonna describe the risen self if it doesn't come up yet, but use your mind to kind of decide, okay, what does this best version of me look like? Okay, so the idea is that you know what is troubling you sometimes. Sometimes you don't know the root of it, but you know the symptoms, right? So if you have a sense of, what, like I'm striving for something, example, right? I'm pushing myself. I'm like basically overachieving, which was my case for a long time. And I needed to be honest with myself and look at it and say, okay, like what am I reaching for? And is this really what I want? Or is it someone that kind of imposed that on me? Or is it because I saw this in another person and this is what I want? And so you want to make sure that you describe that risen self so that if it aligns with the one that is right here, great. And if it doesn't, then you want to make some adjustments and get at all the falsehood that could be crowding that true version of who you are. Because that true version is really what can transform the world. Okay, I'm so over. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.